The lost art of the animated television theme song. A simple, powerful introduction that can lead you to another world or take you on a grand adventure. When those opening notes hit, you get excited because you know your favorite characters are coming to take you away from whatever problems you're having in your life. With simple entertainment becoming more and more corporate in modern times, it seems like show content and commercial space are fighting it out over that precious 30-minute time slot, leaving very little time to the show's opening credits and theme. After all, if it goes on too long, the viewer will just change the channel, right? As a child of the 80s and 90s, I feel lucky that I grew up during what had to be one of the best periods to be a kid, and entertainment-wise, cartoon shows were a big reason why. It seemed like every fall a bunch of fresh, new ideas would bombard our screens. As kids, we learned through repetition, and show creators went out of their way to make sure their show's theme song was catchy and memorable, and able to hook us into watching every single time. Whether it was to explain the premise of the show or just to get us singing along, there were so many great theme songs that I couldn't make a top 10 and really do it justice. I was able to come up with over 50 animated shows that I watched at one time or another. Some of them you would expect to make this list, but others, they might surprise you. But before I get into the top 20, here's a taste of some of the themes that barely missed out.
Without fear, he's more powerful than any man. His legend spreads across the land and sea.
There's nobody home. It's nice to be able to count on a friend like Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear. Wherever you go, oh, won't you take me, please, Pooh Bear? I gotta be there. It's me and it's you, my silly old Winnie the Pooh.
We're animaniacs. We have pay or play contracts. We're zany to the max. There's baloney in our slacks. We're animated, totally insane. Here's a show's namey. Animaniacs, those are the facts.
Those are just a few themes that could be considered honorable mentions in this list. Now, a note on criteria before I start in earnest. What I looked for when considering the best theme songs were not only song quality, but catchiness, how well they went with the show's opening credits, and intangibles, like how much they made me want to sit down and watch. So without further ado, The Nykk Show presents the top 20 best animated TV show theme songs. Number 20.
And the Masters of the Universe.
This is the quintessential explain the plot in the credits so that the 5-year-olds will get it opening. Many other shows would follow Hanna-Barbera's example in the coming years, but He-Man was amongst the first to do this.
Magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull."
And it had a pretty catchy track backing it too. It gives off that heroic vibe mixed with a bit of 80s pop flair. All in all, the He-Man theme is just like the 80s. Cheesy, yet memorable. And I would be remiss if I didn't do the obligatory He-Man gay joke, but quite frankly, I don't see where that meme came from. Number 19. The Simpsons has run for 23 seasons and become a juggernaut of entertainment and pop culture. Throughout their entire lucrative run, they've kept the original theme to the show. Danny Elfman composed a theme that's very easy to hum or whistle and perfectly captures the show's quirky and goofy sense of humor.
Mom, I have a crush. Is it on your father? Little girls always get crushes on their fathers.
Somehow I missed that phase.
Almost there, boy. Almost there. Almost there. I'm getting closer. It's just within reach.
The Simpsons is the undisputed king of American primetime animation, and just like other shows have attempted to take that throne and failed, their themes have likewise failed to live up to the standard that Elfman set.
Hey!
Even if the theme wasn't so recognizable and catchy, The Simpsons deserves its spot based on longevity alone. Long live the king. Number 18.
Spin it! Let's begin it. Bear and grin it.
Tailspin is one of those shows I find myself going back to as I get older. Though made for children, his stories and characters had a lot of heart to them, even surpassing their Disney Afternoon contemporaries in this area on a frequent basis. The theme has a thick South Pacific vibe to it to match the show's setting. It's very heavy on the congo and bongo, and an Arrow-esque singer belts the lyrics right into your living room. Like many children's TV shows of the era, it speaks of the importance of friendship and sticking close to those you care about. Give it a listen when you want to hear something upbeat, and always remember, you can win it in a minute when you spin it, spin it, spin it.
Tailspin!
Number 17. If you want a song that just screams swashbuckling, then look no further than Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates. No lyrics, just pure adventure on the high seas. It syncs beautifully with the opening credit sequence of this different, humorous, action-packed, and sometimes dark take on the story of Peter and Wendy. I even remember an episode of California Dreams I saw once where this song played over a sword fight between characters Jake and Tony, which was kind of weird. If I had a happy thought, it would be that this theme gets the accolades it deserves for being one of the best. Number 16.
Can you come with me to the office, sir? We have some questions.
Like what? Bad move.
You punk!
Come on, guys. I like the fitness program here. It's a good workout.
Cowboy Bebop was a groundbreaking show, not just for anime but for all of television. When Cartoon Network launched Adult Swim back in 2001, this was their flagship show and continued to be for quite a few years. Aside from the deep stories, top-notch animation, amazing action sequences, and the Bebop crew somehow making being broke seem cool, The music was the cherry on top.
3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The show's opening theme, Tank, is a gritty, fast-paced jazz tune that sends up promises of noir, action, and urgency. Composed by Yoko Kanno and performed by the Seatbelts, the band's so intense that they supposedly had to strap themselves down while playing so they didn't blow themselves off the stage. Tank is a very unique theme for a very unique show, and its fans wouldn't have it any other way. See you, Space Cowboy. Number 15. The Inspector Gadget theme is a perfect example of how greatness can be found in simplicity. The lyrics consist wholly of and the music mostly consists of a few catchy melodic bars with a brief interlude. It's another theme that's very whistleable, and anyone who was watching cartoons in the 80s will immediately recognize it. The theme reflects the simple-minded tunnel vision of Gadget, and that's all there is to it, really. All that's left to say about this song is, "Oh, get you next chime, Gadget. Next chime." Number 14. Now here's a show I barely remember at all, yet as soon as I heard the theme song, it all came back. The premise is so ridiculous it's genius. For centuries, a dynasty of vampire ducks have ravaged Transylvania. However, while performing a ritual to bring him back to life, Count Duckula's servants substituted ketchup for blood, unwittingly creating a vegetarian count.
The latest reincarnation did not run according to plan.
In the heart of Transylvania, in the vampire hall of fame, yeah, there's not a vampire any other. He won't bite, feast the man, cause he's a vegetarian, and things never went plan for. If you're feeling, or you kind of, could be your man up with. If your knees go, and your teeth go, maybe you'll bump into.
As for the theme, well, if you want something to jam to at your next Halloween party, forget the Monster Mash. Pop in the theme to Duckula.
Hey, Count Duckula.
Number 13. For the most part, I've stayed away from putting shows I never watched on this list, but this is my one exception. Initial D, 4th Stage, had not one, but two theme songs, Dogfight and Noisy Tribe. Both by Japanese rock / techno / electronica / whatever the hell else they feel like band, MOVE. Both songs are pure adrenaline, taking you through the races that mark the stories of this anime, and pumping up your blood until you just want to cut loose and peel out at those traffic lights. I love these songs so much that I used them often back in my days of producing wrestling MVs. want themes to barrel down the highway to, Initial D is your ticket. Just make sure it's not a speeding ticket.
Baby, this is your ecstasy.
Number 12. This is another theme there's not much to say about. It's just catchy as all hell. Disney will always be the master of writing songs that stick with you for your entire life.
Let's get dangerous.
Or at least hiring songwriters who can produce those songs.
Out of smoke and he appears, the master of surprise. Who's that cunning mind behind the shadowy disguise? Nobody knows for sure. Bad guys are out of luck. Here comes.
I do have to applaud this show not only for its content and theme, but for the thrilling opening sequence that gets you pumped to watch. All in all, it makes a complete package that represents the Disney afternoon at its peak. Number 11. I hate to end part 1 on a negative note, but I could never stand this show. The opening made it look like a cool show, which just served to piss me off even more when I first gave it a real watch. I didn't like the dopey looking dinosaur or his vapid sidekicks. I still watched it because inevitably it would always be on right before a show I did want to see, and after 2 decades the theme song still gets stuck in my head. It's dinosaurs and rock and roll, a veritable 1980s Molotov cocktail. Hey look, prehistoric YouTube commenters. As catchy as this track is though, I always had several questions that have yet to be answered. Like, what the hell is that thing on that kid's head? And what's up with those lyrics? He's my friend and a whole lot more? Oh no. It's that kind of relationship. If we have furries, are people who are into dinosaur porn called scalies? Anyway, the Denver theme is glam rock at its cheesiest, but a cartoon theme song at its best.